Another week, another shakeup in the world of comics. Jeff and Marvel rivals still holding strong, proving they're more than just a passing trend. We're just 1 week away from Captain America Brave New World, and the Red Hope is charging in full force. And did Mark Spears claim the top spot once again? Let's find out in this week's Top Trending Comics for the first week of February 2025. So this week has been a fun week. We're in February 2025. It's the first week of the month. And we have some books returning. We have some books staying. What's your overall thought from this list now that you had a chance to take a quick peek at it before we share it to the world?
I like it. It just shows you that you never really know what's going to happen week to week because books you think that are going to show up kind of fall off. And we'll talk more about that. And then other books kind of take over. It's just such a fun hobby. I love it. I just love the variety.
Well, we have books returning that weren't there before, that came back. It's absolutely crazy. This is why I love talking about trending books. This is why I love talking about spec books. It's a fun hobby. You know, the excitement. I do enjoy it. Yeah, I enjoy it so much. So let's go ahead and take a look at this list, starting with number 10. Amazing Spider-Man 194. This book came out in 1979. Raw was sold for $313 this week. Fair market value of this book's at $151 raw, $756 for 9.8. On the trending list, it's number 7 on Key Collector, number 6 on CBSI, and number 16 on CovrPrice. The sales volume of this book's at 26% with a hype level of medium. This is the first appearance of Black Cat. So, Shane, why is Black Cat so popular right now?
Well, I love Black Cat. I have this book, and right now the attention is on because of the Spider-Man 4 movie supposedly having Felicia Hardy or the Black Cat in it.
And more importantly, a certain actress has been tied to that role.
Well, I know that for a while there was talk of Sweeney, whatever her name is.
Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney has been attached to play this role. And this is all it is speculation. And what we know is that we don't know. So no one really knows anything. All we know is that people are talking, but no one's saying anything. And somehow her name is being attached as the character role. Personally, I think she will make a phenomenal Black Cat. I think she's perfect for a role like that. And we don't even know if Black Cat's going to be in the next Spider-Man movie, but it makes sense in the way the story's being told.
I wouldn't be surprised to see her show up in Rivals sometime soon too. And just for people, if they're looking for this book, sometimes you can stumble across a little printing error one up by the Comics Code Authority. The red bar will have a tiny little strip of yellow. And that book, for whatever reason, it's worth a lot more money. So just watch out for that.
Yeah. If you see that book, pick it up.
Yeah.
Pick it up. It's what we call the era book, the era printing. And it's a stupid little era. All it is just that little yellow, just a little yellow little box right in between. Yeah, it is a great book. No denying, it's a great book.
Yeah. All right, it's in my pile to go to grading. So
good timing too. Let's take a look into what's number 9 on our list. Our boy Jeff. Thank you so much, Jeff, for returning.
He made it again.
Scarlet Witch number 7. This book came out in 2024 from Marvel Comics. Last recorded sale of this book was $18 raw. Fair market value of this book is at $22 raw, $50 for 9.8. It is currently on CBSI's number 10 list. CovrPrice was number 2. Would you believe that? Sales volume of this book's at 64%. As far as the hype level goes, it's actually dwindling down to more of a low, but the book is still selling. people are starting to pick it up, even though it's one of the older books. Of course, it's attached to Marvel Rivals, even though it is not really a Marvel Rivals title.
What can you say? We had to have some Jeff in the list.
We had to get Jeff, and this may not be the last time we see Jeff. Just saying. I love me my Jeff, but it is. I love it. Peach Momoka. This is the Peach Momoka variant, so be on the look on that. So this book is still pretty hot on this list.
The series has been really good.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? For about $20, it's amazing. I had my friend. He had the book. He said, "You sure you don't want it?" It had Jeff, and I was like, "I'll pass." And that was before Marvel Rivals. And look at me now. I'm like beating myself up for it. So it is a Jeff book. Scarlet Witch number 7, the Peach Momoka variant at number 9. At number 8, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man number 1. This book just came out in 2025 from Marvel Comics. $8 was the last recorded sale of this book. Fair market value is at $12 raw. Currently, there are no recorded slabs. This book was number 1 on Key Collector, number 4 in CBSI, did not make the cover price list. The sales value of this book is at 57%. The hype level is at a medium. All right. This has everything to do with that animated series that just launched. And you haven't seen it yet. I know that you haven't seen it yet, but what's your thoughts on the animated series? We talked a little bit beforehand.
So I'm looking forward to watching it. I didn't have a lot of high hopes for this book when I read it, but I actually liked it. So I did pick up the second issue, and I'll probably keep getting it. I am looking forward to watching it. I just keep forgetting we just worked our way through a different show, and I'm trying to watch What If. Don't get me started on that one. But I'm hoping that this is much, much better.
So, yes, I'm going to tell you right now, it's better than What If. I finished watching What If. I was very disappointed at the direction they took with What If. However, the last episode was probably the best episode.
Okay, good.
But it was comedic for the wrong reasons. That's probably how I looked at What If.
Yeah.
So I did see the 2 episodes that they dropped for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I saw the 2 episodes. And what they're doing is, this is very much the MCU Spider-Man, but from an alternate reality. It's not Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So it's taking the elements of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and they're flipping the story. They're flipping the script, the script, as they say.
Yeah.
That's what this is, where the role of Tony Stark is not the same here as it is in the movie. And that's what makes it different, which actually gives it a breath of fresh air in that way, because it's like, we're going to do our version of what we consider Spider-Man. And yeah, I think people are not going to like certain things, but the Easter eggs, as well as how Peter Parker is being portrayed. I think the guy who's doing Peter Parker is fantastic right now. It's a great voiceover. He has that same likability that your typical Peter Parker should have. So I've enjoyed the 2 episodes I've seen so far. There's some great cameos. You got Doctor Strange in one, and you got some other ones that are coming up. Go check it out. Give it a shot. Some of you might end up enjoying it. Let's take a look at our next book in this list, and that is Dark Spaces Dungeon number 1. This book came out in 2023 for IDW. A raw last sold for $35. Fair market value of this book is $31. Surprisingly, there are no sales for slabs at the moment, even though I think that's going to change very soon. On the trending list is number 2 for Key Collector, number 9 for CBSI, number 4 for CovrPrice. The sales volume of this book is at 23%, and the hype level is low. So this is a book from Scott Snyder and artist Hayden Sherman. And Hayden Sherman is the artist behind Absolute Wonder Woman. And Scott Snyder, we know who Scott Snyder is. What do you know about this series in general? Do you know anything about the Dark Spaces series?
No, I haven't heard anything about it. But because it's from IDW, like I was telling you before we started, it might be a good idea to pick this up because of all the Diamond stuff. They're not really going to be able to most likely reorder this book if there's demand for it. Mm-hmm. And if it's already kind of been earmarked to be a show, it could be one of those little sleeper independents that you're probably going to enjoy anyway, because Hayden Sherman, awesome art, and Scott Snyder. So I'll give it a try for sure if I can find it.
Yeah. And it's all part of a series. So Dark Spaces is a series. Wildfire was another one that was pretty popular, and Hayden Sherman did the art on that one too. These are all getting picked up. And like most books that get picked up, you see it go up and then it kind of like just stays leveled sometimes, or it starts dropping until we get word. So that's where this is at. So this weekend, there's just a lot of word about Scott Snyder books getting picked up, and multiple books, not just this one, but this is the one that seems to be the one that's in front and center from all of them. Now, the reason why it's not higher on this list is really because of that sales volume. They haven't really sold that many copies, to be completely honest with you. However, on the trendy list, it made all three of them, which doesn't make much sense to me, and that's one of the reasons why we did this list, because I want to see how does this look in comparison to actual sales.
Right.
So that's the thing you need to take a look at and take with a grain of salt. It's a $35 book. Is it worth $35? I don't think so right now. I think you could probably get this for like 20, maybe 15 if you find the right person. Mm-hmm. All right. It's time to take a look at number 6 in our list, and that is Hulk, number 1. This one came out in 2008 from Marvel Comics. A 9.6 sold this week for $155. Fair market value of this book is at $74 raw, while 9.8 goes for $299, just under $300. On the trendy list, it's number 4 for key collector, and sales volume with this book is at 23%. The hype level is medium, on the trajectory to going high, right? Because we're getting closer to Captain America. We're just 10 days away.
Yeah, I have this book just over there.
I have it too somewhere. I don't know where I put it. I think it's over there. This one is interesting because I'm not sure you heard what they dropped today. Or did you?
I think, are we thinking the same thing?
Did you see what they dropped today? It's a big one. So spoilers for you guys. I'm gonna drop a spoilers. If you don't want to hear it, come back in about 5 minutes or something. What did you hear? I want to first hear what you heard.
That they're going to identify, General Ross is going to identify adamantium in the movie, and that the Eternal that crashed at the end of, or was exposed at the end of the Eternals movie, is actually made out of adamantium. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of signaling that mutants and Wolverine are coming.
You are absolutely right. So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, they did drop I guess you could say a short teaser trailer where General Ross, well, President Ross now, mentions the word adamantium while they show the Celestial's arm. And it's been dropped. The name has officially made it to the MCU, even though we had Wolverine, but that, I guess you could say, that doesn't always really count. It's official. Adamantium has made it to the MCU. This book has nothing to do with adamantium. It has everything to do with the Red Hulk, who's in the movie, and people are starting to buy this book now because of hype. That's why if this book is in the list next week, it's gonna be a hype level high, because that movie is right around the corner.
Yeah, and by next week, my copy should be on its way to CGC.
I don't think did I send my copy to CGC? I don't remember. I know issue 2 I did, and I got it back. But I think mine's is signed by Jeff already. So I'm not sure. I'm probably waiting for Ed McGuinness so I can get him to sign it. There you have it. Hulk number 1, number 6, and number 5. This one's near and dear to my heart. Uncanny X-Men 244. This book came out in 1989 from Marvel Comics. Last sold was $32 raw. Fair market value of this book is $31. 9.8s are going for a surprisingly low $173. It is number 3 on Key Collector. Look at that sales volume, 102% with a hype level of medium. This is the first appearance of my girl, Jubilation Lee.
I have at least one copy of this. I might have the Canadian price variant too.
Ooh, that sounds cool. I have 2 copies. I have a graded copy, and I have 3 copies. I take that back. I got a graded copy. I have a double signed copy, and then I have a copy that I won from the Legion loot a few months ago.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, 3 copies of just perfect. I got 3 copies of Jubilee. I can't, and I'm not giving them any away because that's how important that book is to me. For those of you who don't know, I have a daughter and I named her Jubilee. So the only thing I wish is that it was a better cover. And I like Mark Silvestri and everything, but
yeah,
it's
not one of the better ones for sure. I'm a huge fan of this this arc, and all his covers are usually really good, but this one.
Honestly, I think that's the reason why this book doesn't sell the same way. Because there's 2 factors. One, she's not in the cover.
Yeah, that's huge.
And 2, it's not the traditional look for Jubilee as we know it today. So when she originally came out, she had a different look. We don't see that look until Jim Lee gets into the book. And then he decided to make changes. And then the traditional look of Jubilee is then recognized. And she doesn't make a cover for a while. Yeah.
I'm not sure which is her first cover. I'd have to look it up.
Her first cover is just a head. It's kind of like Amazing Spider-Man 315, where it's just her head, and it's her head with the sunglasses. It's an annual. I think it's an annual. It's a terrible cover though. God, it's terrible to look at. It's like you get it for like $10. And it's a headshot. That's all it is. It's just a floating head. It's like in this comic, Jubilee. Now let's take a look at what's number 4. A book that returned to our list. DC All In Special Number 1. This book came out in 2024 for DC Comics. 9.8 last sold for $102. Fair market value of this book is $14 raw, $103 at a 9.8. It is number 6 on CovrPrice. Sales volume of this book is at 115%. Hype level of this book is at a medium. Book just came back. It's back on the list. Keeps coming back. I don't like it goes away, then it comes back, then it goes away, then it comes back. What do you think is causing that?
I think like we've talked about before with this book, we got more people interested in the absolute books, and they're asking about it at the shops, and shop people are saying, well, this is where it started right here in this book.
I agree with you on all that. I also believe it's because of the value. When the books is, under $15, where some places might still sell it for cover price or maybe like a little bit more, it's a very affordable book to grab. Yeah. And with that, it becomes more sales, right? Because of the price. Price of a book is low, it becomes easier to sell, and therefore you're willing to purchase it and cough up that money. What we're starting to see now is that we're starting to see graded copies of this book. And that is also starting to pick up. I think we'll start seeing more Absolute Batman return, Absolute Wonder Woman, more Absolute Superman. Though this week we will not see them. I think those books, we're going to start seeing them once we start seeing graded copies of this book. Number 3. He appears twice. Fantastic 428. This is the Marvel Rivals Peach Momoka variant. This book came out in 2025. $12 raw was the last recorded sale. Fair market value of this book is $16 raw. A 9.8s are going for $83. It is number 2 on CBSI. The sales volume of this book is at 193%. The hype level is high. Dare I say, I have to say this now. The price of this book has dropped, but it sold more copies than last week.
And we know there's more Rivals covers coming out this week.
Mm-hmm.
And my shop messaged me. We were talking about it before. And I was like, oh, fine. Just give me the covers because I can't take the chance. I can't miss out, people. I cannot miss out again.
Yeah, it's Jeff is on fire, man. Don't sleep on Jeff. What's your thoughts now that we have Scarlet Witch and now we have Fantastic Four? I do believe more Peach Momoko Jeff covers are coming.
Well, Marvel is a company that likes money, so they see this stuff and they will print more Jeff because people want to buy Jeff comics.
Or at least this guy. This guy right here. Maybe not.
You didn't represent all 193% of the increased sales, though. I don't think.
At least I represent at least 3%. I personally love it. I love the whole idea of Jeff and what he brings to the world of comics. It's fun to have kids' comics. Fantastic Four 28, the Marvel Rivals variant at number 3. And let's not forget, Marvel Rivals is still not going away because at number 2, Magic number 1, the Marvel Rivals variant. This book came out in 2025. A raw last sold for $24, and the fair market value is $24 at a raw, $120 at a 9.8. It is number 5 on CovrPrice. But you're asking yourself, wait a minute, how is it number 2? It's the sales volume of this book at 135%, as well as the hype level being high. This book was gone, and now it's back.
All those people that got it saw it went up and they started selling, and bickety bam, we've got increased sales.
Well, I don't understand how this book has 9.8 sales. There's got to be pre-sales.
Probably. That would be my guess.
Because the book's too new to be graded, but I'm certain that a lot of companies already send them out in advance, so they're out there. Apparently, they're being sold. But Magic is hot. It's a number 1. It's a Magic title. Magic's always been hot, and it's a Marvel Rivals cover. Like, she just took the place of Storm. Storm was at this place last week.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Not sneaking by me again. Not this week.
Not this week. And for those of you who don't know, the Venom book didn't crack the top 10. But it's definitely within the top 20. So, and the Amazing Spider-Man is a little bit further out. I think more people picked that one up, and that's probably why it's not selling as much anymore. The book has been sold a lot. But are you ready for number 1?
Yep.
For the second week in a row, Spawn 356, the Mark Spears variant, is at number 1. This book came out in 2024. A raw is going for $25. That was the last recorded sale. The fair market value is $31 raw, $56 at 9.8. That number is going to change. I promise you that. I said that last week, and it still hasn't happened, but it's going to happen. Trending list, it's number 5 on Key Collector. I don't know what they're thinking because CBSI and CovrPrice put it at number 1, and the sales volume of this book is at 132%. Hype level is high. This book just didn't go anywhere. It stood right where it's at. It says, try to take the tops. Try to take this away from me.
Yeah, I went to the comic shop last week. I was like, right, that Spawn book. It's on our list with Izzy. I got to look at that. Pulled it out. They had it. It was 25 Canadian. So that would really only be probably 16 US. So a great deal.
Oh, so you actually you picked it up. I remember you sent me the picture of it. You picked it up, $16, 25 Canadian, you said?
Yeah.
That's pretty good, especially what it's going for now. How nice of a copy was it?
Oh, it's probably a 9.8, I'd say.
Send that sucker in.
I'll be sending it. And they have a 355 waiting for me on Wednesday, which is it's the Spears Violator cover. It's really cool.
So Mark Spears, though he didn't have a lot this week, he had the top spot. And he still made the 20s. Yeah. If you go to the top 20, he's still there. But there you have it. Spawn 356, the Mark Spears variant. Number one for the second week in a row. Wow. With that said, guys, tell me what you think about this ranking system. Which books do you have? Share your thoughts in the comments. And next week, let's see if Spawn takes the number one spot again. I don't know. It's usually hard to be number one 3 weeks in a row, but is it possible?
I've got my fingers crossed because now I own it, so it's fine.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more comic content. Check out these other videos for even more insight, and I'll see you at the next one. Excelsior.